Hello everyone. In today's episode, I brought for you something I call parallel intelligence. We'll discuss about what MIT found about human AI collaboration that changes everything. All of us know there is going to be a conversational quietly inside almost every organization right now. It usually sounds something like this. We need to adopt AI or we will fall behind. AI is going to replace our jobs. We should automate everything we possibly can. At first glance, this sounds like competing views. Optimism versus fear. Progress versus protection. But they are actually making the same mistake, I would say. They all assume AI and human judgment are competing for the same space, and winner takes all. And that framing is exactly where most organizations go wrong. I will discuss with you MIT research. What MIT researchers found, they spent years studying how humans and AI actually work together in real organizations. And they found something surprising. The problem was never the technology. It was the way we design the systems around it. Today, I want to walk you through what the research actually shows and why so many initiatives of AI fail despite good intentions, and how to build what I call parallel intelligence, a way of designing work where AI and humans amplify each other instead of competing. Let me start with a familiar situation I will walk you through. We will look at a problem, and to feel the real impact, let's imagine you are running a bank. It's 2024. You are processing thousands of loan applications every month. Leadership is under pressure to reduce costs, speed up decisions, and eliminate bias. You're presented with two stories. The first one comes from technology vendors. They are saying use AI to automate the entire process. You will get faster decisions, low costs, and no human bias. The second comes from the employees. They are saying if we automate this, loan officers will disappear, decisions will become unfair, people will lose jobs. So leadership makes a call. They deploy a machine learning model trained on historical loan data. At first, it looks like success. Decisions are faster, costs go down, everything is consistent. But what happens in 6 months? In 6 months later, cracks start to appear. Customers complain about unfair rejections. Loan officers feel sidelined, reduced to rubber stamping machine decisions. Default rates creep up, and the model keeps approving loans that look perfect on paper, but they ignore real-world context. A business in transition, a founder with a proven track record of resilience, signals that don't show up cleanly in historical data. What went wrong here? The organization treated the problem as a binary choice. Either automate or don't. But automation and human judgment, they don't solve the same problem. So why to compete here? MIT researchers saw this pattern repeatedly. The organizations that failed, they treated AI and humans as competitors. The one that succeeded designed them as complements. So the research says what actually works, what MIT researchers found in their research of human AI collaboration. They uncovered a simple but often ignored truth. What is that? Most organizations, they ask the wrong question. They ask, what can AI do? The better question is, what is each uniquely good at? When we ask that question, then we can take a better decision. AI is exceptional at scale. It can process massive amounts of data, spot patterns no human could reasonably see. It can apply rules consistently, work at speed without fatigue. The other side is, but AI struggles with judgment, with nuance, with understanding why something matters, with adopting when the world changes in ways the data has not seen before. Humans are the inverse. We are strong at judgment, informed by our experiences. At the same time, we're strong at reading context, at adopting the new situations, at understanding human impact and long-term consequences. But we are not built for scale. We tire, we are inconsistent. We are humans, that's why we can't process millions of data points reliably, like machines. When you design a system where AI does what it is good at and humans do what they are good at, something powerful happens. MIT calls this task specialization. And in my work, I call it parallel intelligence. Not competition, but coordination. And how to apply that parallel intelligence. Let's go back to that bank example I just shared with you. And if we apply that parallel intelligence in our bank example, this time the AI still processes every application. It analyzes credit history, income stability, debt ratios, and thousands of comparable cases. But it doesn't make the final decision. Instead, it surfaces insight. It says, this application resembles 200 approved loans with a low default rate. This pattern historically carries higher risk. This case is unusual. There is a limited precedent. At that point, now the loan officer, a human being, steps in. They see the data, but they also see the context They understand why revenue dipped. They recognize leadership capability. They assess resilience, not just ratios. The AI handles scale and pattern recognition. The human handles best the judgment. And how it helps, this changes results. If we look at decisions, they become faster because easy cases are clear now. Decisions are fairer because nuance is captured by humans here. This will automatically improve outcomes, and loan officers will feel valued at the same time, not just stamping the AI decisions. That's parallel intelligence in practice. And if we go deep and think why organizations still fail at adoption, why don't more organizations do this and approach this parallel intelligence? Because they are ignoring the human psychology. If you look deeply, there is a well-established concept in organizational behavior called expectancy theory. It says people adopt new systems when three conditions are met. What those three conditions are? They believe they can use it. They believe it will lead to outcomes they value. And they actually value those outcomes. And most of the AI rollouts, they break all three. People don't understand the system. They don't see how it helps them. And at the same time, they fear what it means for their role. That's the reason resistance here is not irrational. It's predictable. Parallel intelligence helps you to change their psychology. If we approach that way, it helps people to understand their role. They see where they add value, and they feel more important, not less. That's transparency. Transparency is not soft leadership. It is how adoption actually works. And now you will ask me how to build that parallel intelligence. For that, we have to, of course, it's not going to happen by accident. You should plan that, have a step-by-step approach for that. And I'm going to take you through the steps how to do that. First, understand the task deeply. Not can we automate this, but where does data matter and where does judgment matter? That's understanding the task. The second part is design for both from the start. AI serves insight, humans make decisions. The system assumes collaboration, not correction here. And the third is measure what matters. Not just speed, but decisions quality, judgment accuracy, trust, engagement, real outcomes over time. If you do that, you are not focusing on just speed. Look at the bigger picture. If we look at the bigger picture, when organizations get this right, something shifts. People trust the technology. Culture stabilizes. Innovation accelerates. AI adoption actually works. When they get it wrong, they get speed without intelligence and efficiency without wisdom. The irony here is that organizations that slow down a little bit to design parallel intelligence, they often move faster in long run because they are not fighting human nature, they are working with it. They get that support that's required. So next time you hear we should automate this or AI will replace jobs, pause. Because the real question is different. It is, how do we design systems where AI does what it does best, humans do what they do best, and together they create outcomes. That's parallel intelligence. And why it matters? When you build for it intentionally, you don't just get better technology, you get better organizations. And to work in organization, you need humans plus AI. If you have any further question regarding that, how you can improve AI adoption in your organization, feel free to reach me out. And thank you for listening.